Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your cannabis business podcast. Back with us is Rohit Srivastava. He's chief investment officer and portfolio manager with Saroj and Bhanu Fund. Talk about our AI-based cannabis index with predictive analytics, technical analysis, kind of give us a window into what the industry is doing. So Rohit, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks, Josh. First, the regular disclosure, which we have, that this is all for entertainment. This is all for learning. There's no financial advice we're giving here. And the index which we talk of a couple of indexes in here, but one index which we talk about is equally weighted, which is just gives you an idea where the market is overall. This cannabis market is headed, and it's a little bit different than the ETF, or if you might be following any of the ETFs. Overall, this was where we inception, and this was where we were last week. We were trying to see that if 390 is the support, and it looks like it is. It retreated a little bit from the 390, and I think it's hovering over there. So I think it broke all these supports. It all and it was trying to hold that 390, and it is hovering over there. I think that is a good point at this point, where not to get in, but to tell that if this holds up for some time, then probably it's a good point to buy some of your favorite stocks. That's what I would say where it is right now. From the cash flow money point of view, we saw a huge jump, and then it saw a huge fall, which is pretty normal. When people jump in, then some of the people try to take some profit out of that. But in the last 1 week, we did see that it has been consistently holding up, and which really making me believe that that this jump which was there and a fall after that, it basically is leading towards a positive direction. That's what I think that it's leading us towards, showing that there's a consistently money pumping into this market. As far as our cannabis index, the investable cannabis index, not the market tracker, which we were talking about earlier, we basically were holding 9 stocks last week. The last time, which we saw on 427, we sold a bunch of them this week and we bought new ones. GWPH being the repetitive one, and we are some of them were profitable, some of them were in a loss, but overall we basically are in overall we are about 33% ahead in this year. And with the 5 ones which we hold, we basically bought between the last 10 days. We have been from the last time when we talked. Overall growth being 33% versus MJ and POTX being completely negative. So one point I want to make is that the gains we made this week was about 4%, which versus negative 4.5% and negative 4%. So we basically about an 8% difference in overall of our how the gains have been happening. Now, last week when we were talking, this is the last week's chart, and last week when we were talking about it, it sounded like, oh, bummer, our AI didn't gain as much as basically what the other 2 AIs and ETF were gaining. And this is the point where I would like to make, is that these gains are not based on the overall market. These gains are based on what are we buying and what are we selling. And this isn't a snapshot about what we bought and what we sold last week versus the week before. And when the market gains hugely, that's when these indexes, MJ and POTX, basically gains higher than our index. But when it drops way higher than our index as well. So overall, that's the part of the intelligence the index has. It tries to not overdo which if the market is moving in like in a spike situation, then yes, we kind of miss an opportunity, but that's a very rare situation that happens. Like the market keeps going up and up all the time. So You want to bring that point. So overall, where we stand right now is we basically, from the overall, what our analysis is, the market is basically looking good. And it might be, if it holds the 390 support, then it might be a good point to get in and buy some of your favorite stocks. We are holding these 5 stocks, and this is a short-term investment, and this is a completely an index base, which basically just buys and sells stuff, which is at 64% gain from this time of inception, which is August of 2019, and 33% of that percent is this year's gain.
Yeah, it's awesome looking at that every week. 7% over the competition in 1 week obviously adds up over 60% or
exactly, yeah,
year to date. So looking good. All right. Well, hopefully maybe this volatility will create some opportunities. So we'll have to wait and find out how that goes.
Then maybe next week we can dive into a little bit more technical into one of the stocks and talk about some of the algorithm, an algorithm which we use for investment, and how it works out. So
yeah, might be Aurora or Canopy with their reverse stock split, or another. Got to wait and come back and see. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I want to thank my guest, Rohit Srivastava, Chief Investment Officer and Portfolio Manager with Saroj and Bhanu Fund. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.